This is a good question that I received from Rick regarding his VA loan. So Rick writes to me and he says that he was told by his bank that it's okay to start packing. He's already through the entire underwriting process. He did his pest inspection, his termite inspection, did the appraisal. His credit score is really, really good. And he gets regular income because of his disability. And he's been renting for 10 years. So he put all of his money in escrow, went through the underwriting process, and now his loan officer comes back to him and says that he has a debt to income ratio of 50.9, and 4 days before he's supposed to close, the underwriter comes back and says he's declined for his loan. Obviously, Rick is in a panic, which is completely understandable. Rick, let me kind of go through this and see if we can sort of break this out a little bit. Now, without all of the information, I'm not sure if anything else contributed to what could have potentially caused your loan to be denied. But what I can tell you from our experience, and I've been doing this for 20 years, you will usually know if you're qualified or not within the first day or two of applying. Rarely do you get 4 days into the escrow process and then you're declined. Based off of your comments, it almost sounds like you're being told that you're declined because of your debt to income ratio at a little bit over 50%. Now, with your really good credit score that you have, VA is very, very flexible, and what I'm concerned with here potentially is that maybe this loan officer doesn't understand VA underwriting because, again, you never should have gotten 4 days from closing before they turned you down. Now, if they're trying to turn you down because of the debt to income ratio, that surprises me a little bit as well. We've had several situations where debt to income ratios were much higher than 50%, as high as 70%. Now, what that requires is what's called your residual income calculation. But actually, there's quite a few factors that go into it. What I'm concerned with your situation, and by the way, by the time anybody is watching this, we have reached out to Rick and I've connected him with a VA specialist to do a little bit more digging and get more details into his situation. But what I'm concerned about here potentially is that Rick didn't talk to somebody who was a VA specialist. Again, never should have gone that far into the process. And it's a little scary because, quite honestly, how do you know? If you're being told that you're approved and you're being told that you can go ahead and start packing and you get through the entire process and you're turned down, this is really a tough one, and it absolutely breaks my heart because an experienced VA loan officer would have been able to identify any of the challenges that are coming up. I mean, other than if the appraisal didn't come in right, or if the termite inspection came back and the seller refuses to pay, those are things that are outside of your control. But for you to be declined and not have any idea of why it is with your credit score and your rental history and your income and even with that debt to income ratio, doesn't scare me. So if you find yourself in a situation where hopefully you're not getting all the way to the end before you're turned down, but I can't stress enough how many folks out there are telling veterans that they're approved when in fact they don't have enough experience with VA loans, and either they were never approved in the first place, or like what I assume is what I fear may be happening with Rick is he was told that he doesn't qualify when in fact an experienced VA loan officer and underwriter could probably navigate your way through this. I don't see any one thing that sticks out here that would ever prevent you from qualifying for a VA loan. But it really just comes down to getting somebody with experience and well, I would love to say that I would hope that they get it right the first time, but if they didn't get it right the first time, then getting a second opinion from somebody that has a lot more experience with the VA loan. Again, I don't see anything here that I'm super concerned of, Rick. I hope that you were able to connect with the person that I introduced you to, and that they were able to navigate through this. So thank you for the question. Thank you for your service, and I sincerely hope that this was just a mistake by an inexperienced loan officer, and that they can get you through this process and into your home. So hopefully that helps.